Hello, readers! Welcome to Book Launch Tuesdays, the best thing to happen to Tuesday since tacos. Today, we are celebrating the release of Corruption of Fate by Ligia de Wit, book 3 in the Bradaís Pledge series. Brienne and Titus have found love, but peace is fleeting. Brienne's power is growing, but not without a cost. The more she taps the Fae magic within her, the harder it is to stay grounded in her humanity. And Titus, desperate to protect her, risks unleashing the beast he's fought so long to contain. Can Ryan and Titus overcome the trials threatening to tear them apart, or will they suffer an unimaginable loss? Yay, welcome. Please join me and welcome the author, Ligia de Wit, and the copy editor, S.G. George. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
So excited that y'all are here. Audience, if you have any questions, please make sure to put it in. But this is your first book 3, Ligia. How does that feel?
It feels amazing. I was telling you just right before that I was trying to cope with that, because sometimes you feel like the pressure, like, oh, you need to have a lot of books. And I was like, I only have 3 books. And then say like, I have 3 books. You go to Amazon and there's Touch of Fate, Burden of Fate, and Corruption of Fate. There are 3 books. So yeah, it's fantastic. It's actually fantastic.
Yep. It's very, very exciting. So we are very proud. And this book, as we revealed a bit during the cover reveal, is that you can see the first 2 books. The first one's nice and light and blue with just a little darkness underneath it. The second one has more like hidden dangers with sharks in the ocean. And this one, it has more of a green hue with a spooky forest.
It's so pretty.
I love it. So obviously, there's kind of a change of tone in this series. So can you tell us why you've had kind of a change in what's happening in this book?
Well, first book is basically just Ryan and a pirate, Titus. They're getting to know each other. They are thrown into each other's lives without really thinking about it. And it's just about them getting to understand what's happening between the Fae and Bradaís struggle. So it's like, it's not dark. I mean, you see a little bit Titus' darkness. He talks about a little bit, but you don't see it really, because they are thrown together in the Fae lands, in Seattle, aboard across the ocean in a pirate ship. So it is about them a little bit, right? So she's trying to understand her power within, hence why the Touch of Fate has this, the beautiful crown of part of her power. She doesn't have that power yet fully developed. Mm-hmm. But there's no trust yet in them. So they're getting to know each other. So there's, that's the first step. But then in Burden of Fate, we open the world and we see a lot more pirates. This Bradaís, you see their alpha and you see the darkness. You get to see more about their lore and why they are so terrible, why the Fae hate them so much, what is happening there. And now there's the trust. Now it's earned, mm-hmm. But they're also in peril because they're against them. They don't not find the Bradaís. They don't want them together, so they have to be running away from their lives. But they grow as a couple, right? So it gets a little bit darker. But then in Corruption of Fate, it's not just about them. It's not just about the few Bradaís and Fae they have. It escalates a bit more. You start to see the possibility that things will go very wrong. And Ryan, now that her powers have grown, mm-hmm. She's now facing powerful foes that she will have never dreamed or even, okay, I'm going to say, sorry, Sarah, she will have pee herself if she were to face them before, right?
Don't mention pee, Sarah. It's blanket.
No, the pee is fine. It's with specific schedules. I do not need to know.
Inside joke, sorry. Before this trip.
Well, now they're all in the joke.
They're all in the jokes. So anyway, Ryan will not be able to face them, or she will, and here she's going to face it because she's grown. She has matured. She's not the young woman who had no idea what was happening at the start of Touch of Fate. And so she's grown in maturity. She has learned to, get away from that arrested development she had with the Fae. So she is getting to her own feet. But of course, things are not just pretty and beautiful now that Titus and Ryan have found love. But again, this is like a glimpse of things that can go very, very, very wrong, which of course we get to see something in book 4, which will be even darker. So that's why it has to be darker. And I think the readers that have already read Corruption of Faith and they have reached the end, they were like, what? What is this?
What's
So I
happening?
can say,
Yes, well, the thing to remember is when Ligia first was finishing this book, she was like, I'm trying to get all of this stuff in, and I don't think I can get it all in. And her best writing buddies were like, just go talk to Kelly. And as soon as Ligia started talking to me, I was like, it's going to have to be 2 books. So this trilogy became a, I don't know, what's the word, Sarah? Quadrology?
Quadrology. I don't know. That sounds good.
4-book series.
Yes, it is a 4-book series instead of a 3. So this one does have a bit of a cliffhanger because otherwise it was going to be 578 pages long.
Or more. Actually, I think it will have been more.
Yeah, okay, or more. But the whole point is that I will tell you, I don't like cliffhangers. I don't believe them, and it doesn't really end in a cliffhanger. It just doesn't end the way you want romance to end.
No.
Right. So yeah, Kevin Petway says that, wait a minute, this sounds like some kind of a romance or something. And Jen goes, a romance with peril. And that's exactly it, right? We were just talking about that earlier. This is not just simply a romance. In other words, for Romantasy, the romance kind of controls the entire plot. Now, is romance very important for this plot? Yes. Yes, it is. It couldn't even happen without the romance. However, it is not the most important thing that's driving the entire plot. So people who like nice fantasies with, big quest kind of things going on, this is going to be right up their alley too.
Exactly, because there's a lot of adventures, there's a lot of peril, and not only that, the secondary characters have their own agenda. It's not they don't exist just to support the Titus and Ryan. They have personalities. They are growing too. I have actually a couple of characters. One of them, a couple of readers that really enjoyed the Ragged Void. I'm not going to say anything more, but they really enjoyed.
I love him.
Character. Me too. Writing him was a blast. So there are more characters, and they have their own desires. They have their own frustrations, and that also makes this book. One of the readers said she managed to deepen the connection between Ryan and Titus, but at the same time we have new characters, and old characters are actually deepened, and you get to see more of them. So I think that's why this book is so important, because of this growth between all the characters. It's not just about them. So yes, it is certainly has a romance. It is important, the romance, but I keep saying it is not just a romance, because it has adventure, it has peril, it has a bigger agenda than just 2 of them. Things that have flown over their heads. It's just out of their control right now, and things are going to get even more complicated and dire in book 4. I'm just so enjoying this book. You have no idea.
Enjoy making them suffer.
The secret to most writers. That is part of the fun.
They're gonna hate me.
Yeah, Tracy says you get the romance without sacrificing any plot, and that's exactly it. That is what these books are. I also want to recognize Mariana Salt said, "Love you, Aunt Ligia. So proud of you."
Thank you so much.
Giovanni Diaz is on. So proud. Marco Antonio Cortez Marin just has sticking his tongue out. So I don't know.
I don't know. Thank you.
Talk to that Marco.
Thank you, Marco. That's amazing that you're here. And Mariana is actually one, and is that writes beautifully. So she's an amazing writer in the making.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, by the way, Wall Fox Lady, which is Tracy, says you're welcome, because she's the one who started telling me, you have to make this a 4-book series. It can't be 3. You can't do this to Ryan. I can't say what, because that's a surprise for book 3, what's happening, because I was doing it very fast. To me, it was like a troll putting on a pixie's gown. When I was writing this, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And Tracy said, you can't do this. You have to. And I was like, no, I can't, because I wanted a trilogy. But yeah, she was right. My friends are always right.
A book doesn't fit. It's just, or a story just doesn't fit. And when we always say a story has to be as long as it has to be, then that's true.
Unless it's over 100,000 words, then I don't want to read it.
Then that story has to be under 100,000 words. That kind of is the way.
You want to publish it, you need to cut 20,000 words.
Hey, everyone, we've told, Sarah, you and I, we've told to cut this book down to under 100,000. It's been a stronger book afterwards. So if y'all would quit being such good writers, then, we wouldn't have to be so hard about this.
Yeah. But yeah, and one thing that I want to say, and I know I already said it, but I love this part. When we met last year, you and I, at Superstars, in Colorado Springs, and we were in that couch, I remember that we were talking about this, precisely splitting into 4 books. And to be honest, I was a little bit scared, because I was like, I already had planned for a trilogy, and I already have the information, but it was too much for one book. It was just way too much. You couldn't put it in one book. But I was a little bit worried about what to do with book 4, because I thought I didn't have enough. And you turned to me and you looked me in the eye and you said, you are a writer. You can do this. And that has stuck to me, because now book 4, I'm going to have to try to find a way not reach those 100,000 words, because even though it's still a bit away.
Welcome to the 5-book series, Brad.
No.
12 books.
No. It ends in 4, but there might be a 5th book with a different couple. I must say, because I was writing this story in the book, and when I read it, I was like, oh my God, I want to know more. So I actually had planned a book 5 at some point, but not about this couple. This is going to end, and just so you know, it does end on a happy note. It doesn't end with a happy bow, and it doesn't like everything's nice and no. But yeah, it's if you read book 3 and you're kind of worried, don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, we have a rule. Romances end with happy endings, but in this case, the romance, as we said earlier, is the whole series, not just.
Yes.
So no, that's a rule. If it's a romance, it has to have an HEA, which happy ever after. That is a rule.
It is. It is. It might not be what you expect.
Sarah, she knows the rules.
I hope it's not what you guys expect, but I think it's going to be very exciting. And I see Northern Lights putting on this face like this. Kind of worried about that face.
I love it. Florida says Kelly is great at getting writers to jump off cliffs holding an umbrella. Wait, is that a good thing? I'm not sure that's a good thing. Hold on now.
I mean, at least you give them an umbrella. Here you go.
Oh, no, I don't give them one. They have to create it. Come on now.
It's
your
kind
own
of funny.
umbrella. BYOU.
It's kind of funny that Kevin says that, because actually Ryan in book 1, when she has a quest that Titus doesn't know anything about, and he's a prisoner of Feyland, she's like, what? Why am I doing this? I feel like I'm jumping off a cliff without a parachute. So it's basically what he's saying. So yeah.
Should have grabbed the umbrella.
He should have said an umbrella instead of a parachute, but she doesn't have one, so it's the same.
Laura Salt says, wonderful series. And Kathleen Cooler is back on and says, yes, so happy for you.
Oh, thank you, Kathleen.
And so,
she's a big fan. Thank you.
I love it. And I have to say, it's not really a spoiler, but I'm going to give a little bit away, because y'all need to know how fun this is to get to this 3rd book, which, by the way, if you're ready to get your copy now, Zafo can put the link in the chat so you can get your copy now and not have to wait for us while we're still talking. But I will say that the Ryan and Titus are not the only couple that
No.
is kind of getting together in this book.
Yeah.
We also have a bit
Oh my
of
God.
Peter and Kara. This is such an interesting. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but
You're spoiling.
their dynamic, I didn't even see it coming. And as soon as you had them getting together, I was like, duh, why did I not see that coming? So what was the inspiration for that? And tell me it was Jessie, because obviously she's all about it.
Well, actually, no, it was not Jess, because as you know, Jess, she loves Kara. She has always said, if I were to write something, I want to write it from Kara's point of view. So she's always called dibs on Kara. But this was when I wrote the first draft, which was a humongous story of which you only have read like this. Like the first draft, it was like a very different type of story. And there was a point where Ryan was not with Titus, and Edward was looking after her. They were separated, and she ends up getting rescued by Kara. So she was like, "What are you doing?" And she's a little bit scared because Kara's a scary lady.
Mhm.
And then
It's
Peter came to rescue her, and the moment that he came, at the first time, he was pointing a sword to her because, like, you're a pirate. I don't trust you. I want to, kill you. And she's like, oh my God, why? What have we have here? Hey, pretty Faye. So she starts hitting on him. And I love it because Peter was so nervous about it all the time. He was like, what the heck? I didn't see this coming. So he was like, let's get out of here. And it was very funny because I don't think I even shown that scene to Jess and Tracy, because for those who don't know, they have read almost everything about this series. They've seen it before anyone else. So I don't think I ever showed that scene, but it was so funny, and I so wanted to incorporate that scene in book 4. But in book 4, when they first meet, it was not the right moment at the beginning. This is when they were rescuing Titus, blah blah blah. But there's a part which Carol starts hitting on him, and he's very angry because, like, she's a pirate. I will never touch one of hers. So yeah.
You dirty Bradaís. I mean, she's hot, but you.
So I'm not going to spoil it, but it's very, very funny the way Kara says how it happened. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna let Jess write that part because that's hilarious.
You have to experience it. It is so fun. But I think that was the biggest happy surprise for me. I loved it. Yeah, and Tracy they didn't know until they read it. So she was pleasantly surprised. So nice. Nicely done. Me too, Northern Lights, my favorite character.
What's her favorite character? Kara? Oh,
yeah, favorite.
Nice.
And want to know what we're talking about? You need to read the book.
You need to read the book.
So that was
Available now on Amazon.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And so Sarah, who was your favorite character in this book?
My favorite character is Peter. And I've always kind of liked him, but I really liked him in this book, not because of his relationship with Kara, but the other relationship that he starts in this book, the bromance that he starts.
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's some bromance going. I mean, there is so much. Notice we're talking about it. There's so much in this book. It's beautiful. It is so much fun. Pretty boy. Yes, Northern Light, pretty boy. That's what I always call Peter, pretty boy. That's what Light's called.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty fun, and I love it the way that bromance came up to be. That was a very pleasant surprise. Yeah. But I knew that. I also had several scenes that they were in the first draft, and yeah, it just had to happen.
And in this book, we still have Edward going on, right? So we still have lead bad guy causing all kinds of nonsense. And then we also have more of the Earl King. Not enough. I have to say, not enough of the Earl King. I want more. He is such a fascinating character, and I cannot tell what he's up to. So first of all, nicely done fooling me. Good job. And I'm just as anxious to read book 4 to find out what's happening with him. So I love that.
That was one of the characters that I really was looking forward to show, because I had that scene written for years.
It's amazing. it just the intrigue of what's going on. I just love it. It's part of why this forest, right? Why we have this scary forest, because it's part of the Earl King's kingdom. So it's really cool. Jen Bear does want to know, and I don't see any reason why we can't tell her, what the title is for book 4.
What was her question? Sorry.
What is the title for book 4?
Oh,
She loves the way they flow, so she's wondering what it was.
the Redemption of Fate.
So Redemption of Fate is book 4. So I love it. I love the of fate. They work together beautifully. So
Yeah.
it's something original, but still feels familiar, which is beautiful title. So nicely done. Which, by the way, I didn't do that. That was all Ligia. So well done.
Except Corruption of Fate. That was your idea to put.
That was
corruption.
a group effort when you were trying to divide up the books, right? So
I remember Jen was there.
Yeah,
and she was
like writing down words, trying to figure out the one that worked.
I was still struggling against the idea of 4 books, and you say it should be corruption, and like that fits perfectly. That fits perfectly.
You're like,
oh, I love Susie. You said she added our secret city as animal, and I actually put it in the dedication. I don't know if you guys from Curse of Dragon Ship authors. I put you in a dedication because I added our secret animal. That thanks, Jen.
Oh.
It's
Salahad forever.
Salaxahad. If you are a fan, you know about Salaxahad. If you don't, you need to join our Discord because there's a whole legend being built up around Salaxahad.
Oh yes,
yes.
And there's actually like precedent in the canon for world traveling spiders. Like I just want to point that out. Like not in the CDS canon of books, there are time traveling world hopping spiders.
Yeah, this is a thing that some of our members used to be afraid of, and now they have pet spiders. I mean, pet spiders. So yes, Salaxahad is a thing. It's how this is what happens when you hang out with authors. Awesome things happen. Right, Sarah?
Yes.
Yeah, it was so fun to watch all this idea between, I'm sorry, Jenna, I'm mispronouncing it, Salaxahad. And I say, oh my God, I have to have one of my own. So yeah, it was there. Thanks to you.
We need to all put them in now. We should just have an entire anthology about Salaxahad.
That's a great idea.
And his many adventures through our different realms. Oh, I love it. I love it. This is how you take something scary and you take possession of it and make it not scary anymore. Yep, it's in Florida's book too. Yeah, it's a lot of them. Jen's got them. They're all over the place. And of course, Greg and Jesse, the original.
Of course,
spider.
Of course,
and then the name.
The name. Scary.
Exactly, for sure. Those two are original. And then the name came from an actual ancestor of Jeremy Brundage. So this is all connected, CDS, and I love it because
from ancient Greece.
I don't know, actually. That would be funny though. I don't even know if he is Greek. We should talk to him.
Somebody get him in here.
Somebody get him in here. We have questions. Jessie says that she's sure she could work more giant spiders into your work. I know.
She can.
You're the one who's writing horror. I mean, it fits, right? The rest of us, they're all, friends.
She has a spider series. It's so good, but yeah, they are more horror. Yeah, it is so good.
Yep.
Can you imagine a possessed porcelain doll riding a giant spider?
Oh my God.
Actually, don't give her ideas across the walls and then going on the ceiling.
Don't give her ideas. Don't.
What do you mean ideas? Jessie's probably going, oh yeah, I have that story. Actually, if you look in this I love it. So it's so exciting. So the beginning of this book, Corruption of Fate, because, we have to reintroduce you to the world. And then this one, as we talked about in the cover reveal, has Titus having to meet for the first time Ryan's family.
Yeah.
So not only is Titus from a different culture, he's, a different species almost. It's not really, but it is,
yeah,
right?
He's non-human.
He's not human, yes. Yeah. And so this kind of family dynamic is completely foreign to him. So having him go to a normal family dinner, because Ryan doesn't think her family's normal, but no one does, right? It's a pretty normal family. And so having to do this is so foreign. So I am wondering, because you come over here to the US often enough, and we always go out to eat somewhere. And so poor Titus is trying to figure out what the food is that he's having to eat on this. I'm wondering, when you ever come over here, is there any dish that you really, really like, or any dish you ate and you were like, I am not eating that again?
Well, one thing that I really love, and not that I discovered, but I eat it every time I go to the US, is tuna, which might sound kind of crazy because I always eat tuna, the normal variety. And I started, trying the fancy tuna in salads. And it was like, oh my God, I used to love salmon because I'm a huge seafood person. So salmon used to be my favorite fish, but I was like, I love it. I love the salads. I don't know why, but I have like a thing for salads when I go to the US. I mean, I love them here too, but I don't know. You have like a huge variety and so huge. They're so good. They're so good. Yeah.
I mean, you have to search for the salad, though, so that's very interesting.
Yes. And one thing that I really like, because it's not very common here, it's root beer with ice cream, with vanilla ice cream.
Oh, root beer floats.
Root beer floats.
I love it. I love floats. I love the root beer with. I am not a huge vanilla ice cream person, but with root beer, you win me over.
That's pretty cool.
Next time you come up to the States, we'll have to get you a blended root beer float. It's like a normal root beer float, except they blend it together, and so it's more like a milkshake consistency. And then it's not like you get big chunks of ice cream and big chunks of root beer. It's all like together, and it's so good.
Interesting. I mean, we do have root beer here, but it's not like you can't find it very easily. You have to just go and look for it, and I keep forgetting about it. It's just not the same. I don't know. It just feels different.
That's okay. We don't get tamarind candy nearly as often. Except, you know where I found tamarind candy finally?
Where?
You know where I found it? At my Asian market.
Oh, really? Oh, of course. Tamarind is Asian.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's,
but you know how
well, why didn't I think to look here? And it's right there. It's not the same brand that you buy for me, which for everyone knows, I'm addicted to tamarind. I love it, especially tamarind candy. I don't care about the seeds. I love it. And so when Ligia would come up here, she'd always bring me some. And because it was so hard to find, because I can't find it at the grocery store. I couldn't. But then I found it at the Asian grocery store. I was like, no, look, it's right here.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I mean, I love tamarind. I actually just ate tacos. No Taco Bell, Kevin. Sorry, no. I ate real tacos.
I didn't eat it. I was afraid you would like go off. I did.
No. I get offended by my taco culture, No,
I get offended by Taco Bell, and I'm a white girl.
But anyway, they always have like horchatas and Jamaica and type of refreshments that are not soda, and they have one with tamarind, and I love it. They just dissolve tamarind with water, and sugar, and it's so good, so good. But yes, I love tamarind, but I actually like salty. You like with sugar, and in my candies I like it salty or spicy. That's how I love it. But I know you don't like spicy.
Well, I do more than some. Who knew? But we all have different definitions of spicy. So I just didn't like the candy. In my head, it's candy. I don't like my candy spicy. I don't like my sweet things spicy. Like my niece the other day, she made cupcakes. They were actually quite good, but she put cayenne in them, right?
Oh.
So they were good, but it was so confusing to my palate. It was like, I don't know. That's a personal. It's like I want my sweet things to be sweet and I want my spicy things to be spicy. I might eat them at the same time, but I like those things to be separate. I did have tamarind noodles the other day that were very salty and delicious. The salty I can do.
Have you had Mexican hot chocolate with the chili pepper and the cinnamon in it?
I have. And there was definitely lots of cinnamon in the cupcake too. Cinnamon's delicious. And I like cinnamon when it's spicy too. So cinnamon's one of the ones that goes both ways, except not hot tamales.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah. What can I say? We just love our spice.
I'm with you. I understand a bunch. Jen says that she had Swedish double salted licorice that was saltier than straight salt ones. Wow.
Wow.
Maybe they were trying to hide the licorice flavor. That's what I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna hide that. But all right, so we talked about things that you like to eat over here, and that's something that Titus has to go through.
Oh yes.
Titus also his ship has been a big part of this thing. And I don't know, did you ever watch Star Trek, like the original series with like William Shatner?
Yeah.
And so there's always this thing where like he was always more in love with his ship than anything else. I'm wondering, has this been Titus's love like his whole life before Ryan? How does Titus feel about his ship?
Oh my God, yeah, I think that's so important to him. I have a couple of scenes that they're behind the scenes where he's been part of a trial to be a Bradaí is they have to find the wood from the Valley of the Dragons. That's why it's called Dragon Wood, to build their ship. So it's part of their test. So there's a scene where he finds out about this, and Kara Sergei and him they try to go to Tirdosh a lot of times to find the Valley of the Dragons, but it's very complicated. And once they go there, they have to think of hundreds of strategies to bypass the dragons because dragons love their trees. They scratch against the trees and they shot fire at those trees, and nothing happens, right? And when he finally
Can I get the scratching post for my kid or for my cat? That would be great.
Yeah, they will do nothing. I mean, they will just scratch all the time, and it will just stand there because they're titan trees. And
the Fae could make so much money just selling those to cats.
Do Fae need money though?
Yeah, I mean they might. Our world is encroaching a lot, right?
And it's kind of funny because at the end, Titus is able to do this faster than any other Bradaí because he has Homkar, by him. Homkar is a Danandub from Tirdosh, so he's part of the, Fae creatures, and he knows his way around. So he and his brother, because Titus saves Homkar's life, he was about to die at the hands of goblins, and Titus, well, that's a whole other story, but I was going to go into that rabbit hole, but he saves Homkar, and Homkar helps him with his brother Sorkar to find a way to find some tree trunks that have fallen after many dragons scratching, and they're deep into this type of Swiss valley. So anyway, so when Titus, and this is another short story that I have, where he has his ship, he's so proud of this. He feels like finally it took him like 100 years to have his ship. So he's finally like validated that he's a Bradaí. And you see it in Corruption of Fate. There's a part where one of the Bradaís is trying to take his ship. I'm not going to say who, but so it doesn't spoil his price. But he's trying to take. So I remember you telling me, Kelly, hey, this is something that we haven't seen before. You have to expand a little bit, because I had this idea from before as well. You can't just take a Bradaís ship. There's all our ritual to take a Bradaís ship. So it's like Titus, when he finally takes this ship, it's like, it's part of me. So yes, to answer your question in a very, very long way, yes, he really, his ship is incredibly important to him. So when they try to take him away, he gets pretty mad.
Yeah, that's his
can imagine.
baby. Yeah, it's not okay. Does the ship have a name? I can't remember.
Yes, it's a Sky Dragoon, which means sea dragon.
Ah, okay,
Yeah.
Cool. That makes more sense. Yeah, because I want to ask Sarah. In this book, you had a glossary. Yes. So we have the glossary for the first time, and so there are lots of words. That's why I always look, and I'm like, how do you say that again? I think I finally have
Sky Dragoon.
right? So I've got that one, and I say Brian, right? Got that, no problem.
Yes. Brian.
So many names.
Yeah, sorry. I have this thing about weird names, so yeah, I can't.
It's a fantasy, please. That's perfectly acceptable. But normally I can fake pronouncing them better. These ones really get me. So I'm wondering, Sarah, were there any of these words that you like really had to look at like multiple times when you were doing up the glossary or when you were copy editing it?
The problem with copy editing this book was that when it was sent to me, parts of it were in Spanish, parts of it were in German, parts of it were in Dutch, parts of it were in Portuguese, parts of it were in Swahili, and you had confused the hell out of Microsoft, and it didn't know what language most of the book was in. And so for about 200 pages, half of the book was just, all of it was underlined in red because Microsoft didn't know what language the whole manuscript was supposed to be in.
There's a reason why I read her books with the languages with spelling check turned off.
Well,
So-
part of that it's pages full because I don't write in Word, but I write in pages. And when it seems that when it's a common issue that you brought up when you export to Word, it kind of has an issue with the languages.
Yeah. So finally, 150 pages in, the document was so full of squiggles that it was loading slow, and I was like, all right, I'm done. We're not working on this anymore until I can figure this out. And so I, whole bunch of Googling, figured out how to change the whole document back into English. And only then did I figure out that some of the words were difficult to spell.
And then you were like, okay, now. So which ones do you have to keep an eye on? And can you say them? Like the angel one. I can't say that one.
Oh,
Starts
no.
with an N.
Yeah, I've got it here. And no, what I do is anytime that a word is underlined, it's not spelled correctly, I copy it and I move it over to my document. I have a separate glossary than she does, which would have been nice to know that her glossary was at the end of her book before I started mine. Just So anytime I copy, I'll put it in my document, and then I'll have my document over on the side. And so most of the time, if any of these words come up, I'll copy it and then move it over, and I'll see that it's already there. And so that I just double check and make sure that all the letters are in the same place, and then go back.
Oh, come on. I'm not the only one from CDS you have that issue with, right? You have other ones with strange names?
Strange names, yes. Especially like, I think Kevin Petway had quite the glossary that I kept, but I don't track proper names like Titus and Rianne and those sorts of things, but I do track creatures and places. And so it's the different kinds of fae, and I was going through and like trying to organize and categorize the different kinds of fae, and I'm like, this one's good, this one's bad, this one's good, new category. We need a new category for super fae.
This one's hot but still bad. Okay, this one.
Hotness is not a rating, otherwise I would never.
Well, it is on my chart. I don't know what chart you're making. Awesome. Yeah, Florida 7, Kevin said you had piercings on him.
Yes, I did. I did. That needed to be noted because it was not spelled correctly according to Merriam-Webster. It didn't exist according to Merriam-Webster, which is why we had a problem.
No, I love it. I love it. The adventures of a dev/copy editor's life.
That's why editors are the best. I have to give it to you guys. I'm really appreciate it. I mean, I know that we talk about this, Kelly, how you just bring out your big, editor club and you just whack the heck out of me. But it ends up beautifully. So thank you both. I mean, it was
only because you do the work.
Yeah.
Sarah and I both have lots and lots of clients, not just this company. We will tell you some of those clients also do the work, but some of them
do not.
It doesn't matter how hard your editor works or what a job we do if you don't do the work, and you do. So that counts, and it shows in the books. So
yeah, because I think it's very important. I think that combination of editor and author is so crucial to get an amazing result.
I agree, 100%. So around here at CDS, we have a theory that if people like you, they will like what you write. So I would like to know, what are you watching right now?
I'm watching Ted Lasso.
Oh, nice.
right now. Yeah, I'm really.
Then I don't know if I'm happy about that or not.
I'm actually finishing season 3. It got me a bit angry at some point, but now I'm happy again. Yeah, I also watching. This is a kind of a thing that makes me happy to relax my brain. It's called Ghosts. It's a series
Oh, yeah.
that it is original UK. I would love to see the UK version, but I don't have it here. So I have the US version,
Yep.
and it's about twin, and I'm also very, very sad because I grow fond of those characters, and I don't want it to end, even though it's kind of a silly thing. I'm really enjoying it.
Just don't watch the last episode.
Then it'll never end.
It'll never end.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes I'm watching Ted Lasso with my husband, and he will say, "Let's watch Ted Lasso." I'm like, "No, because it's going to end. I don't want it to end. Let's watch something else." You know.
It's okay. They're working on another season. I'll tell you though, I dev edited that one, but that's another conversation. Anyways, and I love Ted Lasso. Still dev edited it. You can't turn that off when you're an editor. It's like impossible, right, Sarah? Do you ever turn it off?
Oh yeah, I'll turn it off all the time.
I can't turn it off.
And like I'm pretty good, and it helps if I have a physical book instead of a digital book.
Yes.
If I have a physical book, I can turn it off. Like I had so much fun reading Anonymous Rex. And it's about dinosaurs who dress up in silicone suits to solve crime in the dinosaur world that is a secret society in the real world. And it is just as ridiculous as it sounds.
How do they hide them? They're huge.
The world building was immaculate. Like how they actually, like, no, I'm not kidding. Like there's a whole sections dedicated to the skin suits, how they work, like how you get into one, how you get out of one, like designing them. He goes to a skin suit designer and he has to get an emergency skin suit, and like the parts, and they're registered, and then like it's a whole thing.
I want to read that now.
You will never top the one that Tracy, Jess, and I discovered during the pandemic. I kissed the coronavirus.
Oh my god. I've heard about that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It was so... But we're gonna have to wait until CBS After Dark to talk about them.
Anonymous Rex is actually not dirty. I would just like to point out.
Oh, you said you really enjoyed it. I knew that right away.
It was such a go there for the first chapter, but no, we were good.
Yeah. No, there's a whole book about people falling in inanimate object love, like doorknobs.
Yes, I don't read them, but I watch the videos on YouTube that talk about like the ridiculous. No, yeah, I'm like, no. Yeah,
that's all I need. I don't need to read them either. Yeah. We're good, thanks. I have enough scary things in my head. I don't need to add to it. So that is what you're watching. Excellent. We know what Sarah is reading, and seriously, I want to look that up now. And then, what are you reading, Ligia?
I am reading right now The Olympian Affair by Jim Butcher. This is a book that I've been waiting for years and years and years and years. Last year.
That's the one you got signed?
Yes, I got it signed, and I tried not to do a fangirl thing that was like, yeah, with Jim Butcher. Yeah. It was pretty hard not to embarrass myself, but I did. I did. So I have it signed, and I keep, putting it away, but I am finally getting into it. So because I've been reading a lot of friends' books and things that I, were trying to do, but said no, I need to focus on that. So Jim Butcher is basically my favorite author, contemporary author. So yeah, it's a pleasure for me to read his books.
I love it. And then what are you listening to?
I actually put this list. When I write, I can't listen to lyrics. So I try to put just like a relaxed kind of chill kind of music. But when I go to the gym, I put the energized. And I just love to listen to new music, because I used to, listen to the same type of music. I love Bears Den. That's a fairly unknown English like kind of not country music. It's an English band that it's so good. But there's a lot of them. I love Taylor Swift. I love Tom Walker. There's a lot of music that I love to enjoy to listen. Sorry, but I prefer to just let Apple Music, it knows what I like, so I just say, oh, okay, depends on my mood, what I want, energizing, or something that makes me relax. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Makes sense to me. And I think that's it. So for this series, Touch of Fate is out there, of course. Burden of Fate's book 2, and we are celebrating today Corruption of Fate. So again, Zafo can put the link in. And for that link, you can go to that one, but it also has the whole series. So if you are listening to this and you're like, dude, where has this book been my whole life? Then you can get Touch of Fate right now. And the physical books are available wherever you get your bookstore. You want to support your local indie store, please do. You could go right in, they will order it. We are at Copperfield's physically right here in Spring, Texas, if you want to get them off the shelves right there. Otherwise, even the bigger stores, Barnes & Noble, any of them, you can order it right from them. And the ebook is in Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited and would like to read it for free, you can do that as well. So are there any final words, Ligia, for your fans?
So basically, thank you so much for keeping up with this series. I know that it's hard to wait so long for the next book, but it's really been an adventure, and I can't thank you enough, because your words, your enthusiasm, you're telling me if Kat is still here. I mean, she has been such an amazing fan. Just please leave a review, if not from my books, for any author you love, because you have no idea how much that matters to us. I sometimes when I have a bad day, I just go and check my reviews, and makes me so happy. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for supporting me, for supporting authors, and for leaving reviews.
Excellent, excellent. And Sarah, when people are looking for an amazing, talented editor, where should they find you?
They should find me at ladybirdediting.com, or they can send me an email at ladybird@gmail.com, or they can find me at birdie25 on twitch.tv, twitch.tv/birdie25, where normally about this time I have an editing show on Tuesdays. At the moment, I'm currently on hiatus as I empty my house. But as soon as I'm set up in the new place, I have got an author who I'm working with, and we're going to start editing her book from the beginning, all live on stream. So if you want to see what the process looks like, if you want to hear the tips and tricks from an actual editor who works for an actual publishing house who can make your book look like the actual books do, drop by.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. That's actually where I found her, and she's freaking amazing. And Ligia, people are ready to join your newsletter and find out more about you and get some nice, cool things, because you have a lot of character art too. That's really cool. Where can people find you and follow you?
So go to ligiadewit.com. That's my website. You will pop up there for the newsletter. Sign in. I sometimes have art opportunities. I'm actually going to have a couple of stories this year that actually I'm working with Sarah. So yeah, look for me there. And also in Instagram and Facebook as Ligia de Wit author. So you can find me there as well. I actually spend a lot of time in there. I should be writing more, but you'll find me there.
It's a balance, man. It's all about a balance. Excellent. And I'm Kelly Lynn Colby, editorial director here at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing. And you can find us at Cursed Dragon Ship Publishing just about everywhere. Website is dragonshippublishing.com. And if you want to get in on all this CBS lore we talk about with Zalaxahad and quite a few other things, come join us, curseddragonship.com/discord, and join the conversation. You can tell Ligia exactly how much you also love Peter and Cara, because they're amazing. So join in and let us hear what you have to say, or what books you're looking to read.
Come on and leave your review of Anonymous Rex. I would like to know.
We do talk about other books, not ours. We're actually readers. You don't become a writer if you're not an avid reader. So we are all readers as well. So just come join us. We'd love to share. I also realized I never do this on screen, so I want to do this here. I want to thank very much Zafo, our producer on the show, for making everything sound and look awesome. So thank you very much for being here and making it all great. And we will see you next week.
Thank you so much for coming. Really appreciate it.